Due to the release of Rogue One, a Star Wars story, we've been paying tribute to Disney this entire episode, as they bought Lucasfilm Studios and the rights to the intergalactic franchise. Disney is one of the biggest companies in the world, so let's take a closer look at how they reached this position. Except we'll leave out things like TV channels, theme parks, toys, and so on, and just focus on the cinematic aspect of the company. The soon-to-be multinational was founded by Walt Disney back in the early 1920s. He started out producing cartoons, first hitting it big with Mickey Mouse in 1928. From there, the company started to grow, and by 1937, they'd released their first ever full-length motion picture, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. What followed was the first golden age of animation for Disney, with many absolute classics being produced in the 40s and early 50s. After that era, Walt focused on expanding his brand to other aspects like theme parks until he died in 1966. From here, we skip ahead in time to 1989 and the release of The Little Mermaid, which launched a second golden age for the Disney company. The aquatic adventure would be followed by hits like Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and The Lion King. In the early 90s, they began collaborating with Pixar and together created the monster hit Toy Story in '95. It was the first computer-generated film, rather than the hand-drawn stuff we knew as animation before. The movie was directed by John Lasseter, who was one of the biggest big shots at Pixar. When Disney bought the company in 2006, Lasseter was placed in charge of all animated titles and serves as an executive producer.
No, they call me a Chief Creative Officer. I mean, it's a big, long title, but it's kind of what I do. I oversee all the creative work at Pixar and now Disney Animation, so.
Pretty much everything John has produced turns into gold, and his key to success is quite simple. Just stick to the vision of Walt himself.
In everything that we do, it's there to, we're inspired by Walt Disney. I chose my life's work because of the films he's made.
Pixar was purchased by Disney for almost $7.5 billion. 3 years later, they would buy Marvel Entertainment for $4 billion, and as of 2012, they're the proud owners of Lucasfilm and the rights to Star Wars, costing another $4 billion. But all three acquisitions have turned out to be monumental cash cows. And that brings us back to the present, where once again X-Wings and Jedi are lighting up the big screen.
This is Rogue One.
These days, Disney really is at the top of their game, and it's not just because of the franchise in that galaxy far, far away. Hits like the Pirates of the Caribbean series, The Avengers, and animated flicks such as Finding Dory and Frozen have box office grosses of over $1 billion each. Also, their quality remains top-notch. Even their few financial stinkers like Tomorrowland, The Lone Ranger, and John Carter have pretty okay ratings. The past couple of years, the company has been focusing on making live-action remakes of their animated classics. Think Cinderella, which we saw earlier in the episode. This trend started in 2010 with the release of Alice in Wonderland, another 9-figure success. Besides earning big bucks, this is a clever way to update their older hits for a new generation and keep their brand as popular as ever. Not to mention the spin-offs, prequels, and sequels they can make because of them. Future live-action adaptations include Beauty and the Beast, Dumbo, The Sword and the Stone, Aladdin, Mulan, Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan, Pinocchio, and Snow White, among others. The amount of films they release keeps growing too. This year alone saw them unveil 8 titles, and that's not even counting the projects of their daughter companies like Marvel and Lucasfilm. The Disney company's total worth is estimated to be somewhere between $150 and $165 billion. No box office reports from Rogue One, a Star Wars story have poured in yet, but something tells us Disney has a bright future ahead of them. Like what you see? Subscribe to our channel for more exclusive clips.